Welcome back to Financial Strategies with Andrew Adjemi in Connecticut and Daniel Adjemi in Colorado.
I was talking to my brother Matthew the other day, and he is working on his certified public accountant, and he's a smart kid. He gets what's going on with the world. He does a lot of research on things, and he's done very very well in the markets the last few years. But he was telling me how he wanted to buy a Tesla, and he said, "Daniel, what do you think about this? I'm thinking about waiting to buy a Tesla until I have enough investment income that I can pay for the payment. And that way, I'll keep all my assets. I won't liquidate my assets to buy the Tesla. I'll just use the interest that I'm generating off of them in order to purchase the Tesla." And I said, "Matthew, that's a fantastic idea. That's what we talk to retirees about, how they can keep their assets and generate a renewable resource, a flow of income in order to do the things that they want to do." But you're this young guy, you're 22 years old, and you're talking about a wonderful idea. I'm Daniel Adjemi.
And I'm Andrew Adjemi, and you're listening to Financial Strategies with Andrew and Daniel Adjemi. Today's topic is lessons learned from GameStop and Reddit. And we're glad to have you back. Daniel, that is exactly what we're trying to bring across to these people in retirement. We're trying to educate them because we believe an educated retiree is a happy and stress-free retiree. And when retirees become educated, they're going to understand that don't live off the principal, live off the interest, live off the dividends, live off the income from it. And this income that we're talking about is something that is working for them 24/7, 365, right? That's what has to happen. That's what they need to do. They don't need to worry about, what's the newest, hottest stock out there that everybody else is jumping on the bandwagon. There's the old, tried and true alternatives that are available for them to be able to have a secure retirement, to have a secure retirement income, right?
Right, and that's why we talk about the alternatives, because it's difficult to generate income, and people say, "Well, what was 2%?" No, it's not 2%. Um, you want to generate income. You want to look at opportunities. You want to look at things that have that wrong price tag on, like we've been talking about. But when you generate an income, what ends up happening is volatility starts becoming your friend. So look at
Right.
look at the last few years in history. Markets have gone up, but it hasn't been a smooth ride. And if you're in retirement, you didn't either have cash on the sidelines or you're earning income from something else, another passive thing like real estate or something that you're investing that into when markets have these huge corrections, right?
Right. Right.
Then those don't benefit you. They hurt you because they scare you or because you needed money when they were down or whatever. You had to take out your requirement and distribution. But when you're investing for income, it's this renewable resource that money's pouring into your account either monthly or quarterly or biannually that you can use to support the lifestyle that you want to have, or you can use that to embrace the volatility and reinvest that into either more income producing assets or into these things that we say have the wrong price tag on them.
Right, right. And if you're in our listening audience and you're wondering, well, what kinds of things are these that produce dividends and interest? There's a variety of different things. There's different kinds of interest producing CDs and annuities and bonds and preferred stocks and BDCs, business development corporations, and real estate investment trusts, and as well as some common stock that produce dividends as well. There's a variety of different things that you can invest in. We recommend that you don't try this at home from that standpoint, because a lot of people, in order to do this properly and to get the most bang for their buck and to be able to find out when a company has a good price tag on it, or a stock or a bond has a good price tag on it, they need to not just have book knowledge, but they need to have some experience to know what to do with that. But nevertheless, there are a variety of different things that are available that you can invest in to be able to have your money working for you 24/7, 365 days a year. You've worked too hard for your money to have it sitting around on the beach sipping pina coladas. I mean, most people that I talk to in retirement want their money in a sweatshop factory, working hard and sweating so that they don't have to, and that they can just be themselves on the beach sipping pina coladas because they've got that interest coming in, those dividends coming in to be able to give them what they need every month to live on. I want to remind you that you're listening to Financial Strategies with Andrew Daniel Adjemi. Today's topic is lessons learned from GameStop and Reddit. And the report that we have for you today is called 7 Milestone Ages. That's available to be able to help you to understand various ages that are coming up that you need to be aware of. What happens at age 65? What happens at age 72? What happens at age 59 and a half? These are just three of the seven, and this will give you some information to be able to know. So we'd like to put that in your hands for free without obligation by calling 800-725-7616. 800-725-7616. Daniel, as we're wrapping up the show for this week and looking at this aspect of trying to bring it down, we need to. I want to help the people in the audience who are retirement age, and what I call retirement age is people who are 10, 5 years before retirement or actually in retirement, and want to make sure that they have the income that they need. That to be careful, right? What do you have to say to them? Be careful. Don't get involved with this GameStop kind of thing, right?
Right. Know what you have. Know what you have in your account. So start asking questions. Ask yourself if you know what you have, or the companies that you own, either through a fund or individually, are they in a bubble? Do valuations matter? Ask yourself these questions. Ask your advisors these questions. We look for anti-bubble stocks. So I think everyone will admit when GameStop was at $400 a share, when it was at $300 a share, it was in a bubble. So we look for anti-bubble stocks, okay? Anti-bubble things, non-correlated things. That's what you have to get in your portfolio, especially if you're in retirement. Now, if you want to add another layer of security, if you want to lay another layer of diversification, another layer of possibilities, then you start looking for things that pay dependable income. So you brought up preferred stocks. Those are a really good thing. Now, some of them are difficult to get paying more than 4%, but we just picked up some in our portfolios that are paying 6%. So there's things, we find things with with the wrong price tag on it. They're making a lot of money, but for some reason people aren't interested in it. And you can pick those up, and then you can sell them when people want too many,
Right.
too many people want these things and drive the price up. So, preferred stocks are, if you can do the research on them and know that way, you have this company and you know what their earnings are. You know it's not affected by market psychology. You know it's not affected by markets going to the moon, by anything like that, because you can look at the balance sheet and you can see how much money this company is, how much they have to pay you. You have a coupon. You know what's coming into your account, and you can build a diversified portfolio through the things that AAA mentioned, whether that be real estate, whether that be preferred stocks, business development companies, which I'd like to do just a show on those, because those are a pretty cool thing that people can use to kind of get exposure to um, non-public markets that they wouldn't have any other way, and get paid. Like you said, you need to be earning money while you're asleep. They pay dividends, so you can earn money while you're sleeping, while you're on vacation, um, you know, while you're going to a show, while you're in your penthouse, whatever that may be. But you can earn a dependable income through these things and build an asset allocation that will support and will do different things for you um, in different market conditions without being involved in these ridiculous asset bubbles.
Yeah, yeah, the building the asset and the asset allocation that's correct for you is key. And Daniel, when you're talking about buying these things, a couple things come in my mind. Number one, we've saw that one person that went out on his own and bought some BDCs, and he bought absolutely the wrong BDCs. Remember that? And he bought them because they had some high numbers for dividends, but he didn't know what he was buying. And just because it's got high numbers for dividend doesn't mean it's a good BDC, right?
Right. Be careful. There's some garbage ones out there. So there's like 50, 55 different ones. If you're going to pick these things, or you're going to have an advisor pick these things for you, most of them are garbage. Okay. So be very, very careful to pick only the good ones, because you could get ripped off on some of these things. But there are some very, very good ones. But you have to dive deep, deep, deep into seeing the individual companies that these business development companies own, and how the loans are structured, and all these kinds of things. So you can do it if you understand a balance sheet, if you know how to get your way around a balance sheet, and you understand those kinds of things. But you got to be careful, because that's a good point. There's a lot of junk ones out there.
Otherwise, you become a lot like the GameStop thing, and just riding it the bubble, right? And so that's what we want to make sure you and our listening audience are being aware of. Be careful about trying these things at home. There's so much more to say about this stuff that we're just running out of time. I see it's time to close up our show for today. And with that, I want to remind you, listen to Financial Strategies with Andrew and Daniel Adjemi. We're glad you joined us today. Today's topic has been lessons learned from GameStop and Reddit. Now, listen, we have this report available for you called the 7 Milestone Ages, as well as to the next 5 callers, The Fourth Turning, a book called The Fourth Turning by William Strauss and Neil Howe, that is very interesting regarding and explaining what's happening in our country right now.
It talks about demographics, and it was written in the 90s, but it has predicted very accurately what has happened since then. And it talks about generations. Neil Howe is the one who coined the term millennials. All he does all day long, world renowned, is study history and study cycles, demographics, and it's fascinating. It goes through 500 years of history. It is absolutely fascinating read.
Excellent. So those are available by calling 800-725-7616. And we will look forward to coming back with you next week and being a part of this. If you missed part of today's show, like to listen to it anywhere where you can listen to podcasts, or our website, adjemi.com. The 2 words, age my, spell our last name of Adjemi. And it's just adjemi.com, and the show will be on there as well. So listen, until next time, remember, those that don't know history are doomed to repeat history. Been listening to Financial Strategies with Andrew Daniel Adjemi, because people don't know what people don't know.